Well, hey everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we actually have a pretty special bit of news that quite a few of you were interested to see come in patch 7.1.5 and then it ended up not happening, but it finally has been unlocked. In this video I'll be covering the news and I'll also be covering the just actual economic impact of what's actually happened, which by the way, what's happened is that you can now trade in WoW tokens for Battle.net balance. One token can be used now to give you 30 days of in-game time, which is of course valued at $15, or it can be used to redeem $15 worth of Battle.net balance. Now you might be thinking, what's Battle.net balance? What can that be used for? The answer is actually kind of bizarre. It can be used for almost anything digital, bar World of Warcraft subscription. So if you want a token for your WoW sub, don't transfer it into Battle.net balance thinking that you'll be able to put it into a WoW sub later. You will want to just directly do that via the in-game UI because for some reason, Battle.net balance cannot be used for a WoW sub. Additionally, I think it's the Hearthstone mobile store stuff, you can't buy that, which makes sense given all the rules of the different stores. But overall, if you want to buy mounts, if you want to buy pets, if you want to buy Overwatch, things like that, you can buy all of those now directly with World of Warcraft in-game gold. Additionally, you can also purchase World of Warcraft character transfers, all of those character services that are ludicrously overpriced, exorbitant, just insane in my opinion. You can now buy them with gold. That said, it's going to be a hell of a lot of gold. I can imagine it costing hundreds of thousands of gold to maybe do a server change and a faction change or something like that. Now, I think what's more interesting in this video, though, is the effect that it's having on the market. Now, WoWtoken.info is a great resource, and before we get into this, I think it's worth saying, don't buy any tokens now. Wait and see where the price goes. If you're a player who wants to, buy tokens with gold, buy them now while the price is low. If you're a player who wants to take your IRL money and turn it into in-game gold, wait for the prices to go up because the prices right now are skyrocketing. We've been seeing a 3% increase in price per hour. Now you might be thinking 3%? That's not much of a surge. There's actually a reason for that. Blizzard does have a degree of sort of smoothing and control of the WoW token market, and it would seem that 3% per hour is maybe the most that it can actually move in a single hour. Now, 3% per hour, if that manages to hold for 10 hours, 15 hours, we could be looking at, maybe a 30 to 50% plus price hike with WoW token. So if you're a player who perhaps wants to, spend a whole bunch of gold, get enough game time for a few months, you might want to look into doing that now. However, it is worth saying that this initial spike will probably die down soon enough at some point. But I actually do think this has a pretty far-reaching impact on the World of Warcraft economy. You see, yes, it is true that there was a dollar value put on in-game gold when token came in. However, with WoW token, there was only one way that they were consumed, and that was purchasing 30 days of game time. Now, each, player account is able to do that pretty much once per month, which means that there's really, only so many WoW tokens are going to be consumed and used. Okay, well, with this system, there are way more ways to spend WoW token than just one per month on your game time. And I think this is just overall really going to double down and reinforce the real dollar value that gold has. And I think that will have a very, very interesting effect on the in-game economy. Not sure exactly what, not an economist, but it's certainly going to be something that's quite interesting to watch. Just thinking about players with a lot of IRL money, being able to, say, directly get a whole bunch of 865 crafted gear and then some BOE, Titanforge stuff that's maybe item level 920, you might be able to do that, I guess. Now, of course, all that economic stuff aside, I do like how this does give a bit more player choice. It means that maybe people who have a character who's stuck in a dead server, they can transfer that over without having to spend their real-life money, which is quite good, because for some players, yeah, it is true that gold is more plentiful than IRL money, and often in videos like this I see people say, well, I can, work for an hour, I can earn $15, $20 in that hour, and that's probably going to be worth more gold than I could farm up in that hour. And I think, fair enough, but real-life money is far more useful. Real talk, it's far more useful, it can be applied to so many other things, so I don't really think that, my hourly wage to WoW Gold thing. I don't really think that's the most realistic comparison. At the end of the day, you cannot pay for rent with WoW Gold, you can't pay for food with WoW Gold, you know, you can't really get the essentials with that just yet. Now, of course, if you want to get loads of Hearthstone cards, if you want to, for some reason, blow all your WoW Gold and Overwatch loot crates, you can do that too, I guess. A lot more stuff, and I think what's important here is that a number of these are repeatable. So that actually, because if you think about it, right, if it was the case that, you know, somebody could just buy every mount, every pet, you know, in a few months of subscription, there'd be kind of this, like, really high limit in the amount of WoW tokens that could be spent in this way. However, because there's repeatable stuff, that means that there's going to be this sort of constant demand for WoW token instead of there just being, you know, this short burst that then returns to something that is above the previous average, which I think is what could have happened if it was mainly only being used to, like, purchase another Blizzard game and that was a one-off thing. So I think this is really very interesting in terms of an in-game economy. Now, from a business perspective from Blizzard, here's why this is actually kind of genius for their bottom line. If you want to buy Overwatch with in-game gold, that means it's, and let's just say Overwatch hypothetically costs $60. That's going to take 4 WoW tokens. Now, a WoW token costs $20, however, it only has a $15 value. That means that a copy of Overwatch that a player purchases with WoW Gold has really been paid for by a player, the type of player is often referred to as a whale in the free-to-play industry. That person will have put down $80 instead of $60. A pack of Hearthstone cards, you know, we're immediately seeing an increase in the real world sort of dollar value of just about everything on the Blizzard store, because now so many people are going to think, well, yeah, I can just buy these with in-game gold, and if it's somebody who's really good at playing the auction house or even just wants to farm up for a bit, yeah, holy crap, a lot more money for Blizzard. Now, I guess another aspect of this that perhaps is quite good as well is for younger players who maybe don't have a bank card or something like that, who traditionally would end up sort of scrounging off their parents to get games and stuff, and, begging for a game, they're not getting it. Well, if you now, if those players now just are, go do some herbing, and maybe, I don't know, 20 hours later, you'll magically be able to buy a copy of Overwatch or something. So overall, I do think this is kind of fascinating, and I'm really keen to see how it plays out. I will be using more up-to-date graphics in the video once it's edited than what I've seen now, but like already there's been a large price increase. I'm pretty sure US gold is at the highest it's ever been at. I'm sure if that hasn't already happened for EU, it will happen very soon. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. Overall though, I just thought I'd do this video because I did make a video about this, because I believed it would have came with patch 7.1.5, but it didn't, so it's only fair that I update everyone. Finally, I think it was Nightstalker on Twitter did point out the funny little tidbit that they actually did a full ban wave of farming bots right before this feature went live. So once again, we'll be seeing some very interesting shenanigans going on with the auction house prices and just how this system overall will just impact the AH. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. A bit of an update. We'll be back to the more sort of prepared, scheduled content very soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.